Considering this is the 4th edition of the NXT TakeOver WarGames series, I guess we're going to call this NXT TakeOver 4Games. Also, with this event taking place in the WWE Performance Center due to the pandemic, this definitely has got to feel like the most claustrophobic WarGames event of all time. Very interesting how we are seeing the WarGames cage instead of the opening video package. It's as if NXT is telling us, forget about all that, pay attention to the cage because that's all you need. And if that's all we need, then why bother with a video? Damn, now we can't even see anything. Whoever's operating the smoke machines, just remember that we're in a much smaller venue compared to the last 3 years. Sorry, Vic Joseph, but only William Regal can deliver WarGames in the most dramatic and chilling way ever.
Once all competitors...
Guy in the production backstage was probably like, whoops, sorry, I didn't realize she was introducing the match. Here's the instructions on the screen.
Let the WarGames begin!
Technically, rule number 4 officially states that the WarGames itself cannot really begin until all competitors are in the cage. While Dakota Kai has an awesome pose, Raquel Gonzalez is determined that everyone gets a close-up of her back. I have the most intimidating back in the world, fear me! What do you bet each member of Team Candice LeRae is cautious about Dakota Kai after what she did at last year's WarGames pay-per-view? I would. Well, damn, Ember Moon's outfit looked absolutely badass in the dark. It's very good to see her back in NXT again. With how much larger Shotzi Blackheart's tank gets with each pay-per-view event, I'm already calling it now that she will drive a full-size tank like Rusev at her first WrestleMania event. You first heard it here, folks. Also, given the small amount of space in the arena, I'm not sure driving a bigger tank is a good idea on the part of Shotzi Blackheart. And then Shotzi accidentally reverses and runs over her teammates, forcing her to go into WarGames by herself.
Fear in the eyes of Shotzi.
I don't know what Dakota Kai was so worried about. She was protected from Shotzi's missile by the cage. Hell, I would have said, is that all you got, bitch? Ember Moon is an asshole. She clearly nodded in agreement when Shotzi Blackheart declared that she will be starting the match, but then she changes her mind at the last second and says, nah, I got this. Also, 3 out of 4 agreed that Shotzi would start the WarGames match, so she wins and you lose, Ember. Get back into the shark cage.
But we're underway. It is time for WarGames.
Ember Moon actually falls for the cross both sets of ring ropes to come after the bad guy trick that works from almost no one in any WarGames match. Oldest trick in the book.
This matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ember...
We're only a minute into this match and Ember has already performed an impressive head scissors counter to Dakota. You gotta have perfect time to do that, and she got it.
Dakota Kai answering right back, Ember Moon.
What? Ember's feet barely even touched Dakota, who also grabbed them to counter, yet somehow Dakota was taken down by that.
Again, both these...
You know, if you're not going to keep the clock on the screen, then don't even bother to show it until we're 15 seconds away from the next entrant.
Team Blackheart to enter the front.
That's it! I'm coming after you, Ember! Nobody goes first before me!
A crowbar and
Vic Joseph is actually having a hard time figuring out if the obvious toolbox shots he threw into the ring is a toolbox.
Of retribution, revenge here...
Beth Phoenix begins to say retribution, but then remembered that the word retribution signals the arrival of that stable, so she quickly switched it to revenge.
Kai gingerly getting...
How funny would it be if Raquel Gonzalez, in the heat of the moment, forgot that Dakota Kai was actually on her team and attacked her? I wouldn't be surprised, since Dakota has a history of backstabbing teammates in WarGames matches.
Dakota Kai jumping from...
Both Shotzi and Ember were watching Dakota for a long time and could have countered or moved out of the way Samoa Joe style at any moment. Understandable that Dakota would go after Rhea Ripley as well, but damn, I wanted to see Raquel and Rhea go at it for a while on their own. Dakota could handle the remaining women in the other ring.
Isolating and neutralizing.
Shotzi Blackheart hasn't realized that you can't pin your opponent this early in a WarGames match. God damn it, Shotzi, you forgot to give me the lock combination to this toolbox. Oh yeah, sorry Rhea, the combination is 86-40-12.
This cannot be legal.
Relax, Wade Barrett, this isn't a Hell in a Cell match. It's not going to end because of a sledgehammer shot.
Toni Storm going under the ring.
Toni Storm brings in a shitload of kendo sticks, but doesn't even use a single one of them upon entering the cage.
Never seen before, it would be a calc...
Raquel Gonzalez hit Shotzi Blackheart with a freaking crowbar, and Shotzi didn't even flinch upon getting hit. You didn't think I noticed, did you?
This could be bad!
You could clearly hear someone say, ready, 1, 2, 3, before the women attempted the synchronized landing.
Realizing, wait a minute!
Raquel actually believes that holding the door shut would keep Io Shirai from entering. You're an idiot.
Io Shirai, again, not able to enter this matchup.
Actually, she could. Raquel merely closed the door and nothing's keeping Io Shirai from entering.
Body draped. Oh.
You know, if Io Shirai would stop wasting time gathering weapons, she wouldn't end up getting locked out later on when Candice LeRae enters. That's gotta suck when Raquel Gonzalez, Candice LeRae, and even Indy Hartwell do everything they can to keep Io Shirai out of the match and fail miserably. Also, there's a major flaw in Team Candice's plan. Their goal is to keep Io Shirai out of the cage so that they can have a 4-on-3 advantage over Team Shotzi. But the problem with that is every wrestler needs to be present in the cage in order for a pinfall or submission to occur. So unless their plan was to keep the match going on forever, they're dumbass idiots. There are referees in the ring despite the fact that WarGames has yet to officially begin. Out of the cage for now. Yep, that confirmed my suspicion that Team Candice were a bunch of dumbass idiots by believing they could win the match without all wrestlers present. Alright, that was pretty innovative on the part of Io Shirai. Trash can crossbody onto the rest of the competitors. Here's a few sins off.
And Shirai goes up, goes around, Rhea Ripley looking for the...
Amazing double team moves from Rhea and Io. This is an excellent opening to WarGames. Begging for mercy.
Leader of this team.
Shotzi just lets Candice go get a weapon. If I were her, I'd take advantage and whack Candice with a chair I'm holding. Fair game.
And Shotzi...
Candice LeRae figures a kendo stick in combat against the steel chair. And that's all that needs to be said.
For a little...
Pretty brutal stomp out of the garbage can, but now Io is stuck inside and can't be pinned by Dakota. That one moment when the worst thing that could happen to Io ends up being the thing that saves her from being pinned.
Hook of the leg.
There's a literal pinfall going on in the ring, but let's focus on Shotzi watching it take place from her position instead.
Looking at Dakota.
Holy shit, that eclipse on the chairs had me cringing in pain. That was freaking awesome. Here are 3 more sins removed for that. Jeez.
Blackheart looking down on...
Candice LeRae grabs a chair in hopes of protecting herself against Shotzi Blackheart, not realizing she could simply move out of the way. Instead, she sealed her fate.
No.
The powerbomb through the ladder on the bridge connecting the rings was a hell of a brutal ending to this great match.
Pat McAfee has not been...
Pat McAfee throws his car keys to the cameraman as if he actually thought the cameraman would catch them. He's not your chauffeur, you dumbass.
This match is brought to you by WWE.
Sorry, but even when you present your advertisements during the matches, I still gotta say, skip! Timothy Thatcher should really have ring awareness when it comes to positioning, given how he's lying against the ropes.
Ciampa's talked about it before, you know, when he...
Hey, dumbass referee, Tommaso Ciampa has his feet on the ropes. Looks like Timothy Thatcher isn't the only one who isn't aware of the ropes in this match. They must be invisible to them.
And Tommaso...
Even from a distance, I can see Tommaso Ciampa biting Timothy Thatcher, so the biting sin activates. I see everything.
Better for the most part. Ciampa puts on the brake. Oh!
These two made it look like they whacked heads even though their heads were so far off from each other. Gotta do better than that, guys. Sorry.
WarGames.
Surprised Ciampa's even on his feet, but some...
Alright, the sequence of Tommaso giving Timothy a clothesline every time he runs the ropes was fun to watch. That had me smiling, I'll admit that.
Look at Ciampa able to kick off that middle turnbuckle.
Tommaso Ciampa was clearly kicking away from the middle rope, not the turnbuckle. What match are you watching, Vic?
Thatcher.
I'll give Tommaso props for that brutal ending. That second rope DDT literally planted Timothy Thatcher. Second match in a row tonight where I cringed in pain. Loving this pay-per-view so far. Hope I did not just jinx that. Post-match, this is not over yet, stare down. Dexter Lumis's video on Cameron Grimes was honestly funny to watch. Seeing how Cameron is scared of Dexter, this is some fun entertainment.
Generally a very grounded superstar.
Honestly, since the ramp is exactly level with the first wrestling ring, why aren't all the non-WarGames matches present in that ring? Dexter, Lumis, and Istrans probably thought, do I seriously have to walk all the way around one ring just to get into another? Jeez, that is one pissed off looking referee. Line the hell up, dude.
WarGames is presented by WWE.
Nope, skip again. I can do this all night if I have to. How about Cameron Grimes and the referee stop arguing about who gets to use what strap and just put a strap on already? Okay, that just sounded so wrong right there. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. This strap match is taking all night to start strapping. We're gonna be here for a while, so strap in, I suppose. And of course, a pre-match assault. An assault that feels like it lasts almost longer than the actual match itself.
Wait a minute. Grimes.
I can't be the only one cringing in pain because Cameron's exposed leg is literally being sliced into by the sharp spikes at the top of the fence, right? In an attempt to escape from Dexter, he ends up being an idiot.
Dexter Lumis, but...
We interrupt NXT TakeOver WarGames 4 to bring you any movie scene where the monster slowly reveals its hands first before revealing its face as it hunts down its victim. I've seen that a lot.
Wait.
Cameron Grimes takes inspiration from Roman Reigns turning an I Quit Hell in a Cell match into a strap match by turning this match into a blindfold strap match. A little less impressive, though.
Run in this strap match. And oh!
The innovation from Cameron Grimes in that moment was actually pretty good. I'll give him that one.
Beth, listen to this.
Do I have to?
Yeah? Beth, you're one of the commentators for this pay-per-view, so obviously you've got to listen to the impacts. Cameron Grimes is an idiot by sitting down and taking his time, allowing Dexter Lumis to recover and win the match. Post-match cradling. That is just creepy and weird. Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan are pumped up and ready for their WarGames match. Meanwhile, Pete Dunne has the I really wish I weren't here right now face. Or it could be the why did I choose to hang with all these idiots face.
You're not a real champion. You're a joke.
Johnny Gargano to his mirror reflection. Plus, after the controversial way you won from Damian Priest at Halloween Havoc, you're one to talk about joke of a champion. Damn, Damian Priest didn't have enough time to perform his entrance and ended up arriving halfway through the promo video. That's a shame, he's got a kick-ass entrance. Match begins, and Johnny Gargano's first act is to use Leon Ruff as a human shield against Damian Priest. Man, what has happened to this guy?
Champion through a combination of luck and health.
One thing that's a little irritating is Damian Priest not taking Leon Ruff seriously or treating him like a child by protecting him from harm. Just because he's the smallest competitor and the rookie doesn't mean you should take him lightly. And no, that wasn't a pun to his size either. The fact that Damian has to give Leon a last warning in this title match, a title which Leon currently holds and would like to keep. I don't know what's funnier, Damian tossing Leon through the barricade or that random security woman in the background knocking over a second barricade. Also, this single move is enough to put Leon out of the match temporarily. It wasn't even that brutal to be perfectly honest.
It's a one-on-one match.
Well, and
Ah, you failed.
here's your Johnny Gargano.
Did Beth Phoenix just refer to him as Johnny Gargano? Is Vince McMahon shortening names by cutting them in half or something? I'm just waiting for Damie Priest now.
Right here at NXT TakeOver WarGames.
Wow, impressive corkscrew cutter from Leon Ruff. This kid definitely has talent. Should have held on to that title so that he could perform more. And I'm pretty sure tying up Damian Priest on the ropes is not going to keep him from being involved in this triple threat match. What is this supposed to be? Ghostface Retribution or something? Haven't we seen enough of these stables in 2020? I get that Damian Priest is pumped up from Attack of the Ghostface Army, but there's still a North American title match going on. Now's not the time to give a menacing stare to the camera.
Gargano recaptures.
So, what was the point of this? The point of getting this random Leon Ruff guy to be the North American champion for like 3 weeks, all just so Johnny Gargano could win it back after being dethroned in a 2-week reign? Congrats, you're a 3-time champion. Now, what's the point of this?
Austin Theory.
Ha, get it? It's me, Austin. It was me all along. That's a funny yet cringe reference to one of the most frustrating reveals in WWE history. Can we just refer to the NXT WarGames match as the Undisputed Era match by this point? The fans are definitely going to feel different if the WarGames pay-per-view continues without them.
In the fields of body.
Black Sabbath, man. Black Sabbath. Only one song is appropriate for this event. War Pigs! Since WWE loves to use crowd sound effects, it'd be much appreciated if we got a louder boom for the Undisputed Era's music. I'm sure it's a good way to ground Pete Dunne, but I hope Kyle O'Reilly doesn't expect to submit Pete literally minutes into the beginning of the WarGames match.
O'Reilly having to hold on for just a second.
Seems to me that Team McAfee forgot to devise a strategy on who should exit with each interval, given Oney Lorcan telling Pat McAfee to take a back seat, basically.
Might be 2-on-1.
All swarmed in now.
Oh,
I'm impressed with Kyle O'Reilly in the early minutes of this WarGames match, given how he managed to trap both Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan on his own. This guy's got hopefully a great singles career coming ahead. Jeez, another sin-off! That's like a combination of the Kimura Luck and Pete's bending the fingers move. On second thought, I'm guessing that the rest of Pat's team simply doesn't like him and are being dicks on purpose. In some ways, I can't blame them for that.
These two tag teams purely hate each other.
Thanks for stating the obvious, Beth.
and oh, Danny Burch up to.
Well, that's what you get for constantly monologuing and wasting valuable time instead of actually using the cricket bat to your advantage. Danny Burch is a dumbass.
Now, back into that heel hook.
Boy, this is awkward.
Allowing his teammates to get back.
Roderick Strong is full of creativity in this match, no doubt. It's as if each member of the Undisputed Era are showcasing new styles of creativity with each WarGames pay-per-view that passes. Kudos to them.
Strong can feel the energy here in the count.
Sorry, we don't want you to see the full brutality of Roderick Strong hitting the cage because it'd be too hard to watch.
Match ever, and it's gonna happen.
And then little Jimmy tells Pat McAfee to wait another interval because he wants to turn to the WarGames match.
I've never heard tables been booed before.
The crowd aren't booing the tables, you dumbass. They're booing Pat McAfee. Why would they boo something they usually chant that they want? Also, funny enough, Pat McAfee labels each table with the Undisputed Era's members' names, and yet most of the members don't crash to their respective names. Also, how awkward would it be if the Undisputed Era chose to bring the tables into the cage and discover the graffiti themselves? You mean to tell me that Team McAfee was watching Adam Cole even before he grabbed a fire extinguisher and somehow didn't realize that he had a fire extinguisher? Oh no, this gives me a very bad feeling. Adam just shouted, "I'm Adam Cole," but did not shout "Bay" afterwards. I'm sorry guys, but it looks like WWE just might tell Adam to not use that anymore. Don't you dare. If there's anything you do not touch, it's the sacred Bay. Pat McAfee actually falls for this. Now this is excitement right here. A brawl in one ring with each member of one team fighting each member of the other team.
Very typical.
You're not Ric Flair. This scene is actually an amazing shot. Adam Cole reverses the figure 4 leg lock, so Pat McAfee is the one in pain. Meanwhile, the rest of the Undisputed Era have Pat's teams trapped in submissions on the other side to prevent them from interfering. Haha, the table didn't break, although I'm questioning how the hell it didn't break. There's already Danny Burch lying on the table, then you got Pete Dunne who was double teamed into him, and their combined weight and momentum somehow didn't break the table. Since that table was marked with Adam Cole's name, he should have at least been the one to put Pete and Danny through it. Just saying, it make more sense.
This is the WarGames matchup.
No shit, Sherlock. I get that Pat McAfee is new here, but I'm sure even he knows that if you escape the cage in a WarGames match, you automatically lose. Well, the Undisputed Era probably shouldn't have wasted all that time having fun with Pat McAfee. If I were them, I would have finished him off so that we could win. God, you could literally feel that on your own spine without even taking the suplex on the metal floor to know how much brutality it holds. Pat McAfee is a dick to Adam's Cole's. Baby. Seriously? I added an S for each of the names, for fuck's sakes. All 8 of these guys deserve the praise after this extremely epic WarGames match, so here are 15 sins removed from the counter. NXT continues to shine with great action.